Are you looking for the best stud finders? In this video we will look at some of the best stud finders on the market. Before we get started with our video, we have included links in the description. So make sure you check those out to see which one is in your budget range. Starting at number 1. Franklin Sensor's ProSensor M90 Professional Stud Finder. Overall, the Franklin Sensor's ProSensor is our top pick. During testing, it detected studs behind all three wall surfaces, plaster, drywall, and paneling easily and accurately. In fact, it found the studs on the first pass. The metal studs were discovered the quickest, though it wasn't able to detect any PVC pipes. You won't find various modes on this electrical stud finder, but that's not a bad thing. In fact, it just makes it even easier to use, which is great for newbie DIYers. It doesn't need any calibration, all you have to do is hold it horizontally up against the wall. We did find that this might be a bit awkward if you have small hands. This stud finder features multiple LED lights and sensors that illuminate when you're at the center of the stud, so slow and steady passes are recommended for better accuracy. We think this pick was a good value based on ease and accuracy in doing its primary purpose. The stud finder was lightweight and comfortable to hold, so it's a good tool to have at the ready if you are doing more extensive projects. Product details: type, electronic, weight, 0.44 pounds. Additional features: 9 sensors and 9 enhanced precision LED lights, simultaneous center and edge detection. At number 2. Bosch Digital Multi-Scanner. Overall, we found the Bosch Digital Multi-Scanner easy to use and to be the best option for heavy-duty projects. There are 3 different modes of detection: wood/PVC, metal, and electrical, and all it takes is a push of a button to switch between them. The electric stud finder has a display screen with bars to show when you've detected the center of a stud. The more bars that appear, the closer you are to the center of the stud. The ring light also helps determine what's beneath the wall. It stays green when there's nothing detected, then turns to yellow as you're getting closer, and then finally it beeps, flashes red, and says center when it comes across its mark. Although it's more expensive than other options, we found it was successful in detecting materials behind all 3 wall surfaces, so you'll be able to use the stud finder around your home. For best accuracy, the trick is to pass it over the studs from right to left several times so that the sensors can recognize the edges of the stud and pinpoint its center. Product details: type, electronic, weight, 1.1 pounds. Additional features: continuous self-calibration, center finder, 3 detection modes, LCD display. At number 3. Dewalt 1.5 inches Stud Finder. Not all stud finders are made the same, so you need to choose one that is appropriate for detecting the materials you want to find, or avoid, in your wall. If you'd rather not set off a plumbing catastrophe by drilling into copper pipes, this Dewalt stud finder is the one you want. There's no calibration necessary for this electronic stud finder. All you have to do is install the batteries and you're set. The Dewalt was able to locate the center of each stud no matter what type of surface it was on. It only took a single pass, too, though we found that it will only find the center and not the edges of the stud. It was able to easily and consistently detect copper piping, though it did not recognize PVC pipes. There's no need to switch between different modes. The stud finder is able to identify metal or wood studs automatically, and the same goes for wires. For a more accurate reading, it does help to move the stud finder slowly as opposed to quickly across the surface. When you do, the device lights up and beeps. Product details: type, electronic, weight, not listed. Additional features: center marking channel, detection arrows, continuous calibration, and audible alerts. At number 4. Mecurate Stud Finder. Drilling into a wall without concern for the electrical wiring behind it could turn a DIY project into a disaster. That's why you need a wall scanner, like this one from Mecurate, that can scan for wires as well as studs. You will have to recalibrate the stud finder each time you use it, but it only takes a few seconds to do it. We found that while it was able to detect studs and wires on some walls, especially plaster, with fast passes of the stud detector, slow passes were better for other types of walls and detection modes, especially deep mode. We did find, however, that not all readings were consistent during testing. There are 4 modes of wall detection: wood stud, metal stud, deep mode, for thicker walls, and AC wires. The tester found the edge and center detection feature to be very useful, especially when arrows on the display light up to point to the center of the stud. It beeps, too, so it's quite easy to see what you're detecting. The display also features a battery indicator, which turned out to be helpful as the tester did have to replace the battery during testing. Keep that in mind if you plan to use this stud detector often. Product details: type, electronic, weight, 0.57 pounds. Additional features: 5 modes, stud, deep, AC, metal, and buzzer alarm mode, and backlit LCD display. At number 5. Hanson 03040 Magnetic Stud Finder. Sometimes basic is best for tools, which is indeed the case for this magnetic stud finder from Hanson. We found that it was able to detect metal studs within a few seconds. It was also adept at finding screws embedded in wooden studs, though take slower passes for greater accuracy if this is the case in your home. When it comes to this stud finder, it doesn't matter what type of walls you have. During testing, we found this stud finder to be effective on drywall, paneling, and plaster. Where it failed was in detecting copper piping, wires, and PVC piping, but keep in mind it simply wasn't designed for this purpose. There's no calibration needed, so this stud finder will always be ready to do its job. It has a loop in the center so you can hang a plumb bob, a step that may or may not be necessary for your wall installation or project, plus a level for accurate and even hanging. The compact option was easy to hold overall, though it may be difficult for those with larger hands. There aren't any other features, but for a basic magnetic stud finder, we think it does its job quite well. Product details: type, magnetic, weight, not listed. Additional features, not applicable. At number 6. Franklin Sensor's ProSensor 710 Professional Stud Finder. Stud finders aren't the hardest tool to use, but if you're just getting the hang of hanging things in your home, it helps to have one that's super simple. Overall, the Franklin Sensor's 710 Professional Stud Finder is the best product to consider for those who have never used a stud finder before. There's no calibration needed for this electric stud finder, which easily detects both metal and wood studs regardless of the wall material. The display lights up to indicate both the center and the sides of the stud. It was accurate whether swiped quickly across the wall or slowly, though again, we recommend slow swipes for best accuracy. It did have some trouble detecting PVC piping. It had an easier time if the pipes were next to metal studs as opposed to wooden ones, and it did not detect the electric cords at all. Still, it's good at finding actual studs, and its accuracy and ease of use make it deserving of a spot in your toolbox. Product details: type, electronic, weight, 0.52 pounds. Additional features: 13 sensors for multiple studs, simultaneous detection of center and edge, and no calibration required. At number 7. The StudBuddy Magnetic Stud Finder. Stud finders are useful, but you might not have to use them very often. That's why we like this very basic yet very budget-friendly StudBuddy Magnetic Stud Finder. Overall, we found that it's a simple and quite effective tool. It was able to find the studs easily, though we found that the device had to be directly over the screw for it to recognize it. While using, you'll want to do slow passes across the wall for better accuracy. We also recommend moving the stud finder in a zigzag formation since it's only able to detect the screws or nails in the wall, not the studs themselves. The StudBuddy is small, lightweight, and perfect to pop into your pocket when you're working on a project. But at the end of the day, it's really just a piece of plastic with 2 small magnets on it. No light-up displays or beeps here to help you find studs. This pick is the best stud finder if you're going to occasionally hang a picture or wall decor. If you're looking to find wiring and pipes or hang something expensive like a flat-screen TV, however, you might want to splurge on a stud finder that has broader detection ability and other additional features. Product details: type, magnetic, weight, 0.1 pounds. Additional features, not applicable.